Cubiest of the tubiest, the best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. And I'm 50 plus, and I'm still sitting in front of ABC. So I'm gonna make another video. Isaac Martinez. He says, my name is Isaac. I'm a new driver with Swift. I've recently followed you and was wondering if you can do a video on a 34-hour reset versus recaps, the pros and cons of them. So about that, somebody's trying to call me. Anyways, well, for those who don't know, you get 70 hours on your clock. That's a fresh clock. 70 hours, okay? And you can be on duty performing work, basically. 11 hours per day on that, or before you have to do take 10 hours off, okay? So you can be on duty for 11 hours. After 11 hours, you got to go to the buffer for 10 hours. Then after that 10 hours over, you're going to get another 11 hours. Now, what is 11 plus 10? That's not 24, okay? So what I'm saying is, it is possible for you to get a fresh 11 hours to drive in the same day. So let's just say at midnight 01, Monday morning, midnight 01, you started driving. And you drove for 11 hours. You know, now it's 11 o'clock. Hour before noon, but if that's possible, you can't, because you have to take an hour off, okay? I mean, you have to do a 30-minute break in there. So let's just be real and say it's 12 hours later and now it's noon, okay? You have shut down for the day, okay? Because you can't drive anymore. You can't be on duty anymore. You've exhausted your clock. And it is noon, so at 10 p.m. your clock will give you all your time back. Now you can start over again. See, so that's the same Monday, okay? Now it's 10 o'clock at night on Monday. You only got 2 more hours in the day, but you can take off. So it's possible for you to start driving again in the same day, okay? You can continue to do that until you exhaust those 70 hours, okay? Once those 70 hours are done, you now have to use recap hours. You're gonna, how many hours were you on duty? That's 8 days ago, or it depends on how your company's clock is set up, but June is 8 days ago, okay? And if you was on duty for 11 hours, you're gonna get 11 hours back. If you was only on duty for 5 hours, you're gonna get 5 hours back, okay? Those are recapped hours. That means when you're out of hours, and your clock will tell you how much you will get. Excuse me. The Qualcomm will tell you how many hours you'll be picking up the next day. Okay, those are recapped hours. That's what that means. Now, if you're not familiar with DOT clocks, that guy's number 7. I'm surprised that line ain't deeper than that. But anyways, I'm talking about waiting to be unloaded. I still hadn't been unloaded. This is my second video I'm making for y'all. The third video, I'm sorry, I'm making for y'all. And I'm still waiting to get unloaded. But anyways, it's difficult to explain DOT clocks if you don't know exactly what I'm saying. But Mr. Martinez, he knows what I'm talking about because he's driving it. But he wants me to break it down a little bit. Okay, so if you're gonna get 11 hours, and that's the most you can drive. You drove them all the first day, right? You keep on driving 11 hours. If you keep on burning your clock out every day, then you're gonna get them all back every day. No big deal, right? The problem comes in when you have a short day, like you only was able to drive 3 hours one day. Well, all you're gonna get back is 3 hours. So that when that recap day comes around, that day you can only drive 3 hours. Okay, so the benefit to doing a 34-hour reset, meaning you park the truck does not move, you stay off duty for 34 consecutive hours, meaning you've already exhausted your 70-hour clock, so you don't have any more hours left. So you park for 34 consecutive hours, and when that 34 hours is done, you will get a brand new fresh 70 hours to work with. The option would be to continue to run off your recaps. No, excuse me. I guess you guess what happens when you just keep sitting there. I've been there since 5 o'clock. It is 8:45. Yeah, the Sandman starting to catch up with me. But anyways, the positives for running recaps, you're going to continue to move. Okay, you don't have to take that break. The downside to recaps is you may have days on there where you cannot run very long or very far, and the way, like I was explaining to you guys earlier, the reason why it's important to note that in a 24-hour period you could actually start driving again on with a fresh clock, a fresh 11 hours to drive on, is because that is not possible when you are running on recaps. So let's say this happens. I drive and I park at midnight. Okay, so I was able to use all 11 hours. I ended up stopping at midnight. Let's just get midnight. So at 10 a.m. I can take off again because I have got the 10 hours in. So at 10 a.m. I take off, but I have only 3 hours to drive. So because that's what I got on my recap for that day on my recaps. Okay, that's what I regained, 3 hours. Because before, maybe I was loading one day, I loaded at one of them shippers that like Igloo, man. Oh my God, that place is you there all day. I've been to some places that's a long time ago. But anyway, let's just say a specific day you only drove for 3 hours. Okay, so that means when it's time for that day to come back around for recaps, that's what you drive in 3 hours. So then it's 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1 p.m. So I parked because I'm out of hours. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 p.m. 10 hours. I got 0 hours. I can't move. Even though I took a 10-hour break, I can't move. And that's because your recap hours won't come back until midnight 01 that evening, okay, or that night. Because it's got to be for the next day. You can't recap any I can't recap tomorrow's hours today. I have to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow don't come till 12 midnight 01. Based on the time zone of your home terminal. Okay, whatever time zone that your company uses. My company is in Oklahoma, so we use Central Time. So at midnight 01, I will then regain whatever I had left. So let's just say the next day I had 7 hours. So at midnight 01, I can drive 7 a.m. I'm out hours. Now I gotta park again. And guess what? I cannot move until midnight 01. It's 7 a.m. See? Okay, so I want to do a 34-hour reset because you know what? If I sat from 7 a.m. to midnight 01, I also sat another 2 hours the other day. Before long, you're going to see that you could have just simply done a 34-hour reset and got all those time back. Doesn't make sense, man. You move. In fact, I wouldn't move. If I had 3 hours one day, if I could look on my Qualcomm and I could see today I'm going to gain 3 hours. Tomorrow I'm going to gain 7 hours. It's only 10 hours. I can legally drive 11 in a day. So I'm not moving. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to sit there until I get that 7 back. And if I could only drive 11 hours, I may sit there even longer than that until 11 hours. Let's let 11 hours roll over to the next day. Okay. The reason I'm going to do that is because if I can sit there long enough, I'm going to get goddamn 34. And it didn't even make any difference because I was only going to drive 11 hours. You follow me? You can only drive 11 hours. You may as well wait. Before that 7 is done, that's 24 right there. I'm sorry. You would have completed a 34. Because see, if you sat there for 10 hours to get 3 back, 24 hours to get the next day back, that's a 34. You'll actually get it back at about 22 hours. Okay, but what difference does it make? You're gonna run out of hours while you're driving that day, so you just park. And again, what I'm saying is gonna be confusing if you don't understand how DOT clocks work. Bottom line is, if you can squeeze in a 34, do the 34. Try not to run on recaps unless you have a good amount of recaps coming back. You know, you have 4 or 5 days consecutive with a minimum of 9 hours or 10 hours of drive. If you got less than, let's just say 8. If you can't drive 8 hours every day, you don't have 8 hours of recaps coming back for the next, next all the days, at least 8. No way, man. I would park. I wouldn't try to go, do the recap, do the reset. It makes more sense to you. Okay. Plus, it limits when you're running on recaps. Here's the next thing, and then I'm gonna shut this one down. Here's the next thing to consider. This, okay? When you're running recaps and you don't, the dispatch, they can see what you're looking like on recaps. And it limits the freight they can put on your truck because it's going to take you longer to get the load delivered. It's going to take you longer because you don't have the DOT time to legally make that. The time that they need to have it done and your legal time is 2 different things. Your legal time means how much time you can actually get there with your DOT time. Okay, so with the amount of DOT time you can legally drive, put you that way, and so it limits your freight. So don't do that, man. Try your best to to either run your clock out every day so that you can get, when recap time comes, you still have a full day to keep running, which there's days you're dropping off and picking up, so that's just not gonna happen, okay? But if you can get the reset, get the reset. That's the difference, okay? Definitely keep in mind that when you're running, this is the, take this from what my ramblings are. If your resets aren't big, you're going to limit the freight that they can put on your truck, and you probably won't be happy anyway. So it's best to do the reset if they allow it. So if you guys want to come drive from Melton, use the link down below in my description there, okay? And I'll make a video as soon as I know what's going to happen as far as me becoming a mentor. Because just like I did at Swift, man, I'm going to try to take the UBS whenever I ain't going to try to take it. That's who I'm going to take, you guys that are coming aboard. Let you guys ride with me. So I won't know who you guys are if you don't use the link down below, okay? If you've already contacted them, just give them my driver code. It's often that same thing, and then they can still add you to the amount of the people who I've brought on, and you may be when I'm mentoring, I drop somebody off in Tulsa, then boom, there you are. You just jump on and we go handle business. See how it works? Same thing I did when I was at Swift, okay? So, till we meet again, deliver undistracted and try to get that reset. Plus, you can take a break, man. Everybody needs a break, okay? Deliver undistracted. Here's your boop.